Peek AI versus Radarkit AI. I had my team going through a lot of the different AI search visibility tools, and they was trying Profound and a lot of different tools, and they seemed to narrow it down to the last two of it being Peek AI and Radarkit. And I've actually got the founder here of Radarkit because from our point of view, and this is the reason why we've got him on, is we now are using Radarkit the most with regards to AI search visibility. I'll summarize at the end of what my team thought was the best kind of features within Radarkit AI that was better than Peek. But let's jump straight in, Jay. Obviously, you're the founder of Radarkit, so people need to understand that you're going to be slightly skewed in what you're going to say if saying your tool is the best. But
Yeah.
what I did love about you as being the founder is there was one or two little teething problems that we found, and we sent it through to you, and literally the next day they was fixed. And I love that part, and I love the fact that you're consistently always looking to improve the tool and always trying to make it not just the best, but the best version of what it can be as well. So you
Yeah.
maintain and stay there. But for anyone who's looking at comparisons between Peek AI and Radarkit AI, do you want to jump straight in and you tell me why you think you are the better, or what's good about Peek, but what's potentially better about Radarkit?
Sure. Thank you, James. Thank you for the compliment and thanks for using Radarkit. So yeah, so basically, there are a lot of tools right now in the market, more than 200, I would say, and we're also sponsoring the Brighton SEO USA Summit. So on the sponsors page, like if there are like 50 startups and 40 of them are actually LLM trackers. So it is a highly competitive space. Peak AI is a good tool that is out there in the market. They are good competitors and they have built infrastructure that we are building. And so I'll just go through them. I mean, Peak AI recently launched. They raised a lot of funding as well. So they have a lot of stuff that impresses me most is like they have been very clear and transparent on the pricing part. So they have two pricing plans. The one is for the brands and one is for the agencies. So you can just, if you are a brand, you can just choose the brand part. If you are an agency, you can just choose the agency plan. And they share you that, oh, okay, what all LLM models we track. So they track all these LLM models, and they also tell you because Radarkit does it in the UI, and they also claim to do in the UI. Where I mean, I have asked them if you actually do it, but they have not come up with an answer. We will still consider that they do it in the UI, because here on their enterprise plan, they mentioned that okay, these two models they don't do it in the UI; they actually provide it via the API. So that makes it clear that they are actually doing it in the UI, which is also a USB of Radarkit. So and as well as there is no mention of query fanouts and all, but over that, I would say that Peak AI does have good pricings for agencies as well. So if you are a big agency looking for a tool that has multiple seats and giving you a lot of prompt data, allowing you to track a lot of different models, and you can add unlimited users in that. So that is a good part which Redarkit doesn't have. We have limited limitations of 10 users maximum. So if you are an agency looking for a tool where you have like 100 plus SEOs or 100 plus marketers, you can actually go for Peak, wherein the pricing is slightly on the expensive side, but cheaper than Profound is what I would say. And if you're an agency, looks good to me. I mean, they have country options as well, which is there only in the 491 or 495 plan. Apart from that, you can add unlimited projects as well if you go for the custom. And apart from that, they have, they are very much clear on their pricing and the data and the services part as well. The only thing that they're lacking into, I mean, they don't mention that they're actually using 4G proxies, or that they don't mention that they are giving you the query fanouts, because if they are using it in the browser, they should be giving you the fanouts. And they don't give you any content module as well. So to utilize the data, like you'll have to utilize other tool as well. And one more part which Darkit lacks is like we don't have the MCP as of now, which will be ready in few months. They are ahead of us in this one. They have launched their MCP, which you can utilize. You can use it with your Claude or your Codex on any AI agent that you're using.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously on that, that's everything related to Peak. So I'll tell you a few things of what we liked about Peak. We thought the pricing plan was quite good in comparison to a lot of the other AI search visibility kind of checkers and rankers and all the rest of it. obviously you had better pricing than them, so in comparison, you beat those out on price. But we actually found Peec AI to be competitive versus a lot of other brands that are out there. We loved it that they had various LLMs that was being pulled back. So like we was like, oh, they're doing Grok and they're doing this. But the truth of the matter is, further down the line, we don't really track Grok too much. So we wasn't really that bothered about that selling point and the positive of that. We went and did a big pros and cons of, we've narrowed it down to the last two, Radarkit versus Peec AI. And the fact that it had Grok was like, I'm not really too bothered about it. Not many people are using Grok. I wanted to make certain it was ChatGPT and Gemini and the main ones that was being used, and that's what skewed it. Obviously, it was a cheaper plan, and then obviously now as you start to go into Radarkit and talk about the advantages, big two for us was the query fanouts that being tracked, but not only the query fanout. We loved the fact on Radarkit that it showed the average of how many query fanouts was being done, the full query count. So we got every different variation of a query fanout over the last 7 days. And then what was able to do was then go and get the content type distribution, which was mainly listicles, and then physically within your tool, within Radarkit, get content that was produced that was actually matching those long tail query fan out terms and doing it from a content type distribution in the right places. So we was putting them on social media, was putting them on forums like Reddit, and also doing listicles. So for us, this is what was winning it for us. But I don't know if you can expand any further of where the differences of Radarkit, and if you was to put side by side and say, why is Radarkit better than Peec AI? What would you personally say of why you think Radarkit is the best?
Yeah. So we've discussed about Peak. We saw the pricing. We saw the features as well. So if you have like they have given some credits and all, which can be utilized for creating content, and they have the prompt numbers as well is higher. If you go for the agency plan, if you're a brand, then the prompt numbers are actually very low. So we can just calculate on the prompt, per prompt pricing. So let's say here it is $95 for 50 prompts, and we go to Radarkit, and we'll just check the prompt pricing over here. So for 50 prompts, UI based, we are doing 79. So you can just directly do the math. 50 divided by 79, that comes around 0.6, or it should be, I guess, 79 divided by 50. Yeah. So it will be like $1.5 for prompt here. It will be more than that. I guess it should be 1.9. So there is a 30%, approx 30% difference in pricing as well, and you only get three models. There is one more, concerning thing. So if you want more than three, then you'll have to pay more than $500, because in all the models, like in all the plans, they don't go above three models. So all the plans just support three models. You can just select three models out of all these models in all these plans. So if you want to go do Grok or AI mode or AI overviews or any other model, you'll have to go for their custom price, which I inquired is more than $1,000. So here for agencies as well, you'll have to, if you want to track more models, you'll have to go with their $245 minimum plan, which as well comes down to lesser prompts and lesser pricing as well. So I mean more pricing as well. So on the other hand, Radarkit, we we haven't uh, set it on per model basis. So all the plans come with these six models. So all the plans, you can just track all these six models. We have the query fanouts. We don't have any limitations on the query fanouts. So all whatever query fanouts are being performed for all your prompts, we will be giving you that data. And then we also have this content generation module, which uses your citation data, semantics data, extracts all the semantics and schema data from all the articles that are being cited the most, and let you create content as well on that. So we give you that. We have daily refresh on the $79 plan. $29 plan has 72-hour refresh. So we also give you the locations data. So all these locations are actually being used as a 4G proxy. So we actually buy 4G proxies from different locations. So if you're searching something from the US, the answers may be different. If you're searching something from the Germany, then the answers may be different. So this is what we found, and that is why we thought that we would not go with APIs, and we actually will go with a UI based tracking along with 4G proxies. So that makes the data way too rich, and you get the query fanouts, and you can utilize each and every feature of Radarkit within, like, all the plans have each and every feature. So there is no limitations on prompts, or sorry, there is no limitations on the AI assistants. You get all the AI assistants on all the plans.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for us, like you said, you can use all 6 LLMs there. You're not restricted to the free. One of the free we was going to try to start using was Grok, and then was like, actually, we don't want them being one of the free. We want the main 6, which is kind of what Radarkit is doing. So, Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure. And anyone who's watching this, we hope you like the comparison between Peec AI versus Radarkit. I also say make sure you check out the link in the description. There's another one where we go through all different AI search visibility tools. We go and compare Profound and many others that are in there, as well as Radarkit, as well as Peec AI. There's lots of others, so make sure you check out the link for the best AI search visibility tools for 2026. Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.